may start our class. Definitely, I did the introduction last week where we tried to discuss a lot of stuff in as far as governance is concerned. Do we have some people just to remind us to say last week we talked about ABC? Panje, you have something to share? No. Yes. I saw Lawrence. Where is Lawrence? Yes. Do we have something that we can share? Do we have something that we can share? Yes, sister. As far as corporate governance is concerned.
Now, we talked about ethics
Mm-hmm.
as behaviors and principles that guide a person.
You may raise your voice. I don't get you clear.
Okay, we talked about ethics.
Mm-hmm.
There are principles and behaviors that guide a person. So, we talked about ethics in an organization level.
Yes, Marcus.
It was more like we were defining corporate governance,
Mm-hmm.
talked about my ethics, and how they are really the corporate governance.
Mm-hmm. Peace. What do you have to share? No idea. Yes, sister, there. We're together. Nothing as well. Lawrence,
Yes,
what did we discuss? Yeah, liar. Yes, Sanabwe, but this is not his first class. Okay. All right. So today we proceed where we'll try to have something that we can write, and we'll start direct by going or by talking about business ethics. So you may hear business ethics. Business ethics. Business ethics. And then the business ethics, let's have this. It's a business ethics refers. Mina tizingo banga discuss. Alibo ofuna olemba? All right. So I said you write a heading, business ethics. Business ethics. And they write business ethics refers to moral principles and social values. Business ethics refers to the moral values. Business ethics refers to the moral values. To moral principles and social values that business should adopt. That business should adopt. That business should adopt in its code of conduct. What do we mean when we say code of conduct? When we say code of conduct, what do we actually mean?
It's a document that comprises a set of behaviors.
Yeah, exactly. That is what is expected within an institution or organization. So you proceed. These are rules that business must accept and follow. These are rules these are rules that business must accept and follow in its day-to-day operations. Who is Tony?
I haven't talked to high school.
Is Vidimbigo is supposed to be with us?
Yes.
Okay. These are rules that business must accept and follow in its day-to-day operations for the welfare of society and all its stakeholders. For the welfare of its society, for the welfare of society and all its stakeholders. If we may look at an institution like this, does it have any impact to the society? Yes.
What's the question?
Institution like this one, does it have any impact on the society?
Yes.
How?
Bad impact or good?
Sorry?
Bad impact or good?
Bad or good? How? What would be the good impact that this institution is having to its society? This point?
Education.
Education is giving the community education, right? All right, exactly. So definitely, whenever we are looking at an institution or company, we should always focus, say, what does the institution have to contribute to the society? So definitely, it has to contribute on the well-being of the community as well as the society. A good example, as we'll be going along, we'll be looking at things like corporate social responsibility. Have we heard of that before? Corporate social responsibility. Have we heard of that? What is it all about? Corporate social responsibility. Others will say giving back to the community. So, when one way through which an institution like this would impact the community is by having corporate social responsibility strategies, where in whatever they are planning, they try to fit in what companies could do to the community. So most of the times we see people probably giving some services to the community. Big companies, they have constructed health services, school women, sometimes tree planting. This time around, companies, they are helping a lot in terms of bringing back the environment by tree planting and the likes. And every stakeholder is impacted by the institution. Even like if we sit here, those who are close to us, in one way or another, we're impacting them. The question would be, what kind of behavior is the institution involved with? So our behavior do also impact and they're just adjacent to us. Churches are organizations, right? They too, they also have to impact the community. Last year, we saw some people shouting at church, they were bringing noise in the community. We heard that, we saw that, right? All right, let's proceed by this. Who is a stakeholder? When you say a stakeholder, who is a stakeholder? Someone who have interest in the business. Someone or the business. How do you differentiate stakeholder and shareholder?
Stakeholders are
The stakeholder is the shareholders are the ones who are interested in doing business with the
Frank,
Huyu walianza stakeholder, shareholder. Okay. shareholder amakazi is having shares in the business.
Sanyaki.
While the stakeholder
Stakeholders
of
are here.
amakazi is someone who is not in the business.
Mhm.
Yes, it can be customers,
Mhm.
it can be government, different organizations.
So who is a stakeholder?
The stakeholder is like,
Interested in the business.
see,
Someone who is interested in the business to know more about the
the
business.
stakeholder is like someone who wants, like for example, it can be stake, someone who wants to put or invest into the business. Stake the bid, if you know what like
Finale. Stakeholder. I'm also trying to understand plainly from you. A shareholder, you talk of the owners of the company, like this one. They, if I may ask you, are you stakeholders of this institution?
No.
You are not stakeholders of this institution.
No, we are stakeholders. Because it's just a project for 4 years. After that, we are gone. We don't want to get our money anymore. So we are
Is your parent a stakeholder?
Yes.
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 No.
He's a shareholder of us.
Should we read it? Huh? Oh my God.
That is our program.
Anibao, is he a stakeholder of this institution?
Yes, she's a stakeholder because
Yes.
Are your parents?
Anna akazaliwa kushtuka unaona tunazasema banka letu.
Let's say somebody who is not renting is using his own house, is sitting just adjacent.
So let's say that example of Peter Kennedy is
I'm asking you.
So, if an organization is affecting anyone, like basically either it at the school or not, that person is a stakeholder.
Is a stakeholder.
Yes, if he is being affected by the organization.
What about the shareholder?
The shareholder,
Owners.
the shareholder can be affected, but the shareholder is not the stakeholder. We can put the shareholder in the stakeholder.
Are shareholders stakeholders?
Yes.
Sawa sawa ni mahoda basi.
Yes, the shareholders are stakeholders. The business can also
I'm
affect.
investing in business.
So are stakeholders shareholders?
Shareholders are stakeholders, not stakeholders are shareholders.
Alright, so when you talk of a stakeholder, is anyone who directly or indirectly is impacted by whatever happens within the organization. So your parents are stakeholders of this institution. Government, even a neighbor also, they're stakeholders. Let's take no daily to Masogosera will be impacting their life, right? And at times they might be approaching the management to say, I was in Anana, I would so say this and that. Are we together? So definitely, as a business, we are trying to make sure that at least every stakeholder has comfort with what? With the business. Let's proceed by writing this. These ethics help the business in deciding. Yes, Sylvester, you're just joining? These ethics help the business in deciding what is right and what is wrong for the business taking. These ethics help the business in deciding what is right and what is wrong for the business, taking into account its circumstances. Business ethics help the business to maintain. Business ethics help the business to maintain. business ethics help the business to maintain better and harmonious relations with society, customers, employees, and concerned industry sector. So what we are looking at here is, I'm just trying to explain what has been said. What we are looking at is, we are saying what kind of behavior do we need to condone or do we need to accept at an institution like this one? So we are saying, as we are trying to learn the business like this, others, we need to know what kind of behavior do we need to encourage. So always we need to create others an environment that is better for everyone. An environment, you want to be good? Okay, you may say and go. She gave an excuse, she's going somewhere else. Sorry? All right. So, when you say a harmonious environment, that is, we are looking at a situation where there is peace within the working environment. So peace can only be there if we are following principles, or if we are guided, or our behavior is being guided by the principles that the company or an institution has laid down. If there is nothing to govern our behavior, definitely there will be chaos at an institution like this one. So we need to have principles that we have to follow. Likewise, you may find that even the people that we're trying to save, in this case we're talking of our clients may not be okay with us, or they may run away from our institution or from our business if we are not handling them with what? Respect. Let's take school fees. If they treat you unfairly, or the way they tell you pay us fees is somehow not in a good way, would you enjoy? You not enjoy. You may even say, I think many of you didn't go yoga. The way they treat us, school fees, they treat us as if we are not people, as if we are not persons. Then definitely, that means we are portraying bad image. So when we talk of principles, we need to have principles that should govern us within, and as how we should be handling what? Those people whom we are trying to save. Now, we go to scope of business ethics. Scope of business ethics. What is a scope? Analysts in Mahodas. That's intelligence, huh? We talk of what? Scope. Scope of business ethics. What does the word scope mean? What is a scope? What is a scope? An idea? Strategic goal. Scope. Yes, Lawrence, scope. We don't move faster.
No fast.
Yes, fine, scope. An idea. Sylvester.
It can be, when something occurs or bites.
Oh. Yes, Kaida, right? Maria. Yes, scope. What does the word scope mean? Mafinale mnalemba research. Suna hiyo pena bage scope.
So I think scope is what is called
what's combined of, somehow, what's made of. So you look at the coverage, where exactly you need, where, like in this case, where should we take issues to do with ethics, business ethics? Other institutions like here, where do we need to see that at least ethical issues are being dealt accordingly, or where good ethics need to be exercised? So our first scope in as far as business ethics is concerned, we'll start looking at ethics in compliance. Ethics in compliance. Ethics in compliance. Ethics in compliance. What is compliance, or what is to comply? To follow. Exactly. To follow or to abide, right? So in business, definitely, there are rules to be followed. See, don't you? A good example, last time we even talked about here, say, government do monitor. Government is a stakeholder of this institution. Is it true?
Yes.
Government is a stakeholder of this institution.
Yes, it's true.
It's true, right? So definitely, as a state or as government, we do have a constitution where there are laws, of which some of the laws do impact on how this institution has to be operating. That's why last time we talked of INCHE, to say INCHE do come here to see how this university is operating. So the expectation is the university has to comply, or the university has to follow what has been prescribed by the government as on how it has to be running. So if the institution does not comply or does not follow what is obliged to be following, then definitely they are not following what? Good ethics. Because as a principle, they need to operate as per the laws that have been set aside. So our first concern or scope of business ethics is whether the institution is complying with what government has set aside or not. Everywhere, each and every business, definitely kuli malamulo amene business yenera kusadira. Kunokotanena kuti ndi anche. And at the very same time, aside INCHE, as this company is running, it's making profit, it's a business entity, right? What is government looking for? Tax. So you should be able to be paying tax. So if you get Granchiro, definitely amatidula nsonko. The question is our nsonko being limited to the government? If yes, fine and good. If not, that means the company is not what? Complying. Are we there? Then we'll proceed. Second scope, we look at ethics in human resource. Ethics in human resource. What is human resource? What is human resource? We'll say human resource. Others call labor force and the likes. So when we talk of human resource, we are looking at people, the labor force, people who are working in the institution. Like here, we will be talking of lecturers, those in the administration, and what have you. So the question, how do we treat these people? And at the very same time, how do we make these people available here? So we'll be looking at right away from the recruitment process up to the time that somebody is in here. When it comes to recruitment, just as we discussed last time, others, recruitment has to be fair. We need to recruit somebody based on competence and not necessarily based on I know him or I know her. Yes, last time some people said if somebody is employed just because he is known to the company, others say it's a good practice, right? Ashina Franklin, Ashina Matthews, you said it's a good practice if one gets a job just because he has been favored, which is not true. Mnaja? Sorry? Mnali yokozi. I mean, I'm going to this okay. And I remember it was Matthews. I remember it was it was Matthews. All right, so at least we should bring people into an organization based on merit or competencies that they are having, and not just like that. And once people are there, they are into the system. At least we need to treat them with respect. So anything that would infringe one's right, it should always be avoided. Favoritism shouldn't be there. Have we heard say one can be fired, right? But is it automatic if one wrongs the company, then just come in and fire those people? Others follow, we call it disciplinary process. Those people need to be cautioned. Probably they wronged the company or the institution. So all those things, they need to be looked into. All in all what we're looking at is others people should be treated with dignity, respect, and other kind of stuff. Kungo jomba class kamodzi sinaphunzise basi kungobwera yafa, that would be unfair, right? Serious business. We need to compromise. Our next scope is ethics in finance. Crucial, right? Do we need ethics in finance? What would happen if there are no ethics in finance? We talk about finance management in that room. What would happen if there are no ethics in finance? Chaos, right? With Francis Amabira Frank. Ina ngonona kuseru 01 class. Mwadijani? Si amena maona za finance kono. Ashina pagadi. Sina mena maona za finance. Yes, so at least when we talk of finance, ethics in finance, we are looking at those people who are managing our finances. At least they need to manage the finances as per principle. They should always make sure that at least records are maintained. They should always make sure that at least every finance, every cash is accounted for. Unlike just letting everything just like that. And farmer. So one might not steal if he's well principled, if they are good they are good code of ethics in as far as finances are concerned. Bwezi wamakaraina mnoma malo class as school fees analibira kwa masana libira. But they have been set it off. Mina ngolibira angogwiza na dampagada. Madam ndibona nina agi. Ndio fees kujera so which was like that. Also, we look at the other one is ethics in production. Do we need ethics in production?
Yes.
Do we need to be principles when it comes to production? Why?
You know how many products produce according to the demand.
According to the demand. Have you heard of this word, adulteration? Adulteration. Oh. Can you search on Google adulteration? Something like that, if not mistaken. Have you heard of that word? For example, have you seen that juice?
Yes.
You may find that for you to keep that juice for long, you put something that is bad I'm waiting for you to search on Google adulteration.
We are.
Somebody searching?
Spelling.
I think you bang again.
It's always.
I'm not sure about the spelling. So they might put something so that at least you preserve that juice for longer, of which that thing is bad to the consumer's body. Right? Somebody told me to say, when a dead body, muntu agafa, amampanga inject zinthu zina kuti asaole, the very same thing amakatrasa zauja zimene timadya. Have you heard of such kind of stuff? Like what?
Sipa.
Usipa? Like?
What is somebody else?
Somba mama. Kuti
Also,
zisipa.
Have you heard say even these fruits, banana especially, kuti piensanga they put something?
2 days
You get that spell? Adulteration. Nangwiwa napuza kuzimenizo kale kale. That was kind of standard 5, I think. Yes, so what?
What still is it?
Adulteration. Sylvester. Mbona ma messages akale kale ife tikuona ngati mukupanga time. So when you talk of ethics, ethics over production, whatever we're producing, we need to make sure that we're cautious, so that if we're producing food products, the product shouldn't be harmful to people or to consumers. You found it? Let's try to get what do they mean. What's the spelling first? Ndaziwa spelling yake.
ADULTERATION.
Aha.
Oh, so it's like making something poor and quality and adding something.
Can you read fast?
The action of making something poor in quality by the addition of another substance.
So when it comes to production, panga zinthu zoti address they are looking forward with it winning. Then let's take even talk of usipa omwewo. Basically demand is low. Ndio usipa mbili wonongeke. So they would put something so that they sustain, they keep that product over a long period of time. But in the long run, basically zukapanga fake ogula, which is bad. So such kind of practices, in as far as production is concerned, are not encouraged. We need to make sure that those who are involved in production, they are principled enough so that they produce goods that are of good quality, that may not impact adversely on the lives of consumers. What about services like this? It's also production, right? What kind of practices could be deemed bad practices in service delivery like this one? We have learned about adulteration when it comes to production of goods. What could be something of similar nature in service delivery? Uh-huh. If I may ask you a question, has your life been impacted by this institution?
Yes.
Good or bad? In a positive way. You can say both, right? Okay, so even in service delivery too, you may find really sometimes we may be misbehaving. A good example, where Aris might say, Aris, whatever you're paying, Aris should marry or should match with the quality of the service that you're having, or the impact that the service that you have been given will be impacting on your day-to-day life or whatsoever. From there, we also go to ethics in marketing. What is marketing? Ethics in marketing. What is marketing? And let's also see there what are good practices and what are bad practices. That monatex zalo. Nde Friday. Tulowera ku funk. Tulowera ku. Kudu? Okay. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. It's Friday. We go party, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be my transport.
All right. Under marketing, do we see bad things happening?
Yeah.
This is what we call what? This is Unreal. Agamapanga advertise. Maybe as Uzani, we have quality campus. We have quality food. Frankana Tower. Anangoja. Kena umapanga grave da nalipira. What do you call? Nalipira ndrama chakuja madijani? Yes, nalipira cafeteria. Ndia dingo segula mimi. I saw him writing my claims each and every semester. Ndungna Frank. So you find say maybe the advert could come like say at this institution they offer good accommodation, good food and the likes. And by having that capturing of the message, every parent wouldn't rate his or her word to be eating somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Even if you say, Mom, inendra manga, ndifuna yecha uja mundivasa sign ndizikapanga manage ndeka. As you know, I'll pay it about limozi ndija? Ndi fees. Message. Wera kuno mwana kugala was sola not good achichewa. Chichewa chimandivula. Kugala wazabu jopeze kwa mtaura, akusegula mimba. He has been deceived by what? The marketing itself. Because when you talk of marketing, we are looking at nothing but promotion of what? Our business. And the way we do promote our businesses, we promote our businesses in a number of ways. Have you seen Frank's shirt? It's white, right? They say you take mazajan, agadondaji. You spew here. They say if you put omo here, you don't need even to kutigita. It goes. By having such kind of impression, what do? They say, we na see so, you have been deceived. They say, you take Coca-Cola, you become what? Muscular, you become energetic. So, you come here, you go to the tax shop, you take Coca-Cola, you come here, you sleep. Mwana mizidwa. Franklin, zijazo zugwira. Marketing jamando zaichi. Utok kutika kumana. Mesa mwadere rubida umo. So, whenever we are talking of marketing, if there are no ethics there, we might deceive people. We might deceive people in a number of ways, so that people might be misled with what we have given them in terms of the message. So it's a side. It's not exactly as marketing. I'm still keeping the message here. This guy texted. I don't know who is They texted me, Tanyamula Gatunduan from South Africa. Please call us on this number. And I was like, name number. Then I'm waiting a message we see here. So all those kind of stuff. So when talk of marketing, others, we need to give messages to our prospective customers or to our customers, the message that really do portray what we have or who we are, and not just like that. To the mod. All right. We are there. We are done on the scope, unless one is having a question. We go now to nature of business ethics. What is the nature like? Nature of business ethics. What is the nature like? Yes, my brother. Kajan? Adulation. Because I was failing to say much, right? It sounds like adultery, but it's adulteration. Spelling was what? A-D-U-L-T, right? Something like that. Adultery, yeah. I wonder, you know what? You forget easily just because you're too serious in this school. Yes, just as chatting, you get knowledge. Here, learning was done at primary, secondary. Here, you're not training, right? So basically, notes. Where are you, Frank? I'm studying. Now and then I'm studying. Now and then I'm studying. Here, just gather, then see what happens around and apply. That's why when it comes to my exams, don't force yourself to mabanga memorize, but just try to understand what does that really mean. Knowledge. That's the most important. Zabobo. If you don't apply, ask Frank. Ndasiye. Mwali, is it true? Okay. Whatever you get, is it what you deserve or not? Good example. I've had you, Matthews. Matthews have been better in the classes that we have been together. Yes. Small mazesa. I've been on my over. All right, we go to nature of business ethics. The first one, rules and principles. Rules and principles. So we create a group. We already have a group, right? We create a group and make sure that you add day kumabido. Because I will get this wabangaso ya. So when talk of business ethics, majorly it's all about what? Rules and principles. Maramungo. Zoina kusadira. If you have to come here at this time. Knock off at this time. And the fact that we are doing these are part and parcel of what? Rules, right? Then again, voluntary. Ethics have to be voluntary. You don't have. It should be something that one should be able to accept or not, right? It shouldn't be by force. Second, voluntary. You understand? Rules and principles. Are you there, bro? Hmm? Are you there? All right, thank you. Then we go to our next. And our next, avoid cheating and fraud. Avoid cheating and share me. I read something. Though I tried to do some small investigation, but I didn't get it. Kuonera maeso kunokuonera kwambiri maeso ndiyo nakananzo benja sungaonere muli benja all right. So when saying cheating and fraud, what is a fraud? Yes, have we done auditing before? Auditing. There are terms there. The word is running away. There is a fraud. But you do it. Okay, I shouldn't say that. There is a fraud and a mistake. Right? So we are saying we need to avoid cheating and fraud. If you look at a mistake and a fraud, what's the difference there? A mistake and a fraud, what's the difference?
Mistake is, that means the person is stealing. Yeah, oh, that's fraud, yeah. Family mistake is like, they didn't you can show it.
Mistake makali mwangu uzusabudziwe. Fraud intentionally. So if you are doing it intentionally, say ababa ndimenya bozwi is that is wrong. So we need to avoid that. Most of us, we are doing even marketing. If you give false adverts, you are cheating, right? We have read about ethics in marketing. We need to do something that is right. Accountants, what do? You find, say, figures that they look similar but they're different. They look similar but they're different. They use those weights to deceive. Mabwana, eh? That is a fraud. So you should be able to know, because even if you are looking at the statements, somebody should be, at least an expert, should be able to see the address, this is a fraud or this is a mistake. Can you be able to detect that? Let's say you have been given figures. My figures are my mistake. How should I put it in Chichewa? Can you be able to detect, to say, this is a mistake, this is a fraud? Can you be able? No, you can.
After balance,
Again, for example, let's take somebody, you're writing, let's say 2,756. 2,700, let's take 600, right? And you write, let's say you write 257, 600. These are different. But if you look at this just in passing, they may look the same. Most of the times they'll give you a summary and lines. That's why if you're a reader, you don't need to be in a hurry. You should be able to take time so that you understand what is written here. Remote. Yeah. Even the signature itself can show that there is fraud there. Have you heard of forgery? So all those kind of stuff. So we need to know and understand ourselves that at least in whatever we are doing, at least we are doing it with a sense of honesty and dignity. That's what about avoiding cheating and fraud. Education and training required. education and training required. Definitely, when you talk of ethics, artists, not necessarily even artists, but always artists, there should be education and training. How would somebody know that this is wrong or this is bad? By just guessing? So you should always, first of all, that person needs to go out through induction. Have you been inducted before? You've never worked. So you need to go induction. I say, Kumanga Maujin, stage. Were you inducted? So, example, let's take, though here, I wasn't inducted. And I was like, man, what is this? No induction. Orientation. Exactly. So you should be able to know this is good or this is bad. That's an induction process. So in the course, you are told, you are able to know that this is accepted or this is not. Training is also needed because now and then things do change. So the fact that things do change, we need to acquire what? We also need to upgrade ourselves. We need to acquire new knowledge. So training is vital. Again, we are talking of dynamic concept. Dynamic concept. Dynamic concept. What does the word dynamic mean? Dynamic. What does the word dynamic mean? If something is dynamic, then it's something do what? Do change. So, as we are saying, things do change, and by looking at this change, new things might come up. Then definitely we need to see how we can address the new environment that is emerging within our working. So that others, we try to bring in things that others would help the organization in bringing what? Sanity or peace. Working environment. I don't know if we were there and we are very active. By nature, a man has to put on a trouser, a lady has to put on, we call it skirt. Do you know how hard it was to accept ladies to be putting on trousers? You see? Just because so people need to be what? Oriented so that actually they know what is to be done. Our next point is social warfare. Social warfare. Social warfare. It's unfortunate that. Do you have people who have worked before?
Yes.
I heard these days people they talk of what something like that.
As life.
So at an institution like this one, we can have a social welfare corner where probably every month end, once you get paid, you should be able to contribute something. So that in case we should be able to use that money to help the social welfare. So we should be able to improve the society or the people that we have been associated with as a business. That's all about social warfare. We talk of the last one is new concept.
So social welfare, I'm gonna call it a great election where I'll tell you that I'm not I mean, there are kind of Muslim
Mona ntamira zikavuta chandaliwo anthu odiongonoda deire mpanja ngoti wadwala makangona mizira ndakuza wakuti you remember, I don't know whether I just heard somebody he was in trouble, so he wrote to the office to say, I've lost my father. And what was expecting was kuti yeyo akuntchito ampasa ya ndalama kuti arisi pa nthawi imene mukathandizirire. Then unfortunately akuchana kwa bokosi. Did you hear that story? It happened some years ago. Ndiye akuchira anakula chani anakula no ndiye kofi nipita yokhangati ndi pamene zinaonekeraga. No, that is indiscipline, that being unethical, si choncho. Yes. Kauchendeka chamdakaonerawo ka komedi ka late Isaac. Yes. Ka maliro. Ka fake maliro. Hey, what did he do? Anangoika zija timapanga no. You just put masamba ndi mbale pansewu. And azibwera aziponya. Ndio nabwera ena nde. Such kind of stuff. So what we are looking at here is when we talk of social welfare, we are looking at people right away here and those outside. Remember, we have talked about stakeholders, right? And even my student, you need to have social welfare. Let's take somebody has lost a relative. Do you need to wait so that you contribute? Do you have student union? So at least, so what we are looking at is we should be able to comfort those people. We should help their lives. Likewise, Magambaza corporate social responsibility is part of social welfare. We should help those people who are out there, who are suffering, or who are in need and they need our what? Our help. Yes, sister, you don't talk? What was that? What was that? Mori, you don't talk? Okay, so the last part is new concept. New concept. So remember, we have looked somewhere to say when we talk of ethics, they have to be what? Voluntary, right? But there are other countries, especially developed countries, ethics are mandatory. You are monitored what you are doing. So we also need to follow those new trends and as far as business ethics are concerned, so that at least we know and understand how things do happen within the business setup. Let's go to types of business ethics. types of business ethics. Ndalankhula non-stop for 1 hour. Kodi simungauza azibweresa juice? Madzi ndi azikangotunga. Ndena fesitima madzi apadabu just like that. Business ethics types. Any idea what types of business ethics are out there? All right. Our first type is moral. We there? Moral objectivism. Are we there? Tirimodzi. So under moral objectivism, let's have this. Right, this can be described as what is morally wrong or right. What is morally wrong or right? What is morally wrong or right in terms of behavioral attitude of a person. In terms of behavioral attitude of a person. Have you had people fighting at work? Zanchido. Wewe zile ni benja za swelo menya. Anga wenda. What do you think can cause that benja is sweating? Ngani ya kwamba tamenya na chifanya hizi. Ndawa tamenya na chifanya hizi. Ndawa 8 o'clock. Agatinga 9. Mama mai iko wapi? Ndio tipana nayo. Kama library. Aulizaya. Silvestre. O aluno sumarankrana. Iyo kwa loire fanya. Vocabo loire fanya. Alright, so when we talk of moral objectivism, or what we are looking at is we should be able to judge to say easy, nzorolega, easy zosorolega, based on how somebody's what is behaving. Every time you come here drunk, what do? Every time you come to office while you have imbibed, whatever, that's bad behavior. No. Even you too, as students, right? We can also judge you based on this. You know for sure, class starts at 10. You're just out there. Yeah. You might figure even class will be about 10 o'clock. You might figure even 10 past 10. They just see you there. Quarter past? Who can see us? Mwalo wantaji no? Mnomo? Exactly. I'll track you. That's behavior. So from the behavior itself, we should be able to deduce to say, this is right, this is wrong. The other one is moral relativism. That's moral. We're there, right? So there, right? What is morally wrong or right? You're right there. Under moral relativism. The second type, right? There you write, what is morally wrong or right? What is morally wrong or right depends on what individual believe in, and it varies from one person to another and from one culture to another. It varies from one person to another and from one culture to another, which is very true, right? From one individual to another, or from one culture to another. So in this case, that means what we're looking at is in terms of judgment, how we judge. That is, if we were to judge, judgment has to be dependable. What are the things that tikamaka ena timazono disease zoiba, the very same ena timazono disease zapopo? Yes. Okay. Tikamaka moral relativism. We are going to say judging something to be right or wrong based on individual belief. Ndio tunaona pale sisi kama ndio choiba ile tofauti na hii ndio choiba, my sister say no, this is good, this is just okay. Can we try to have some stuff or some examples? Yes. Yeah. You have some?
Kwa ina vile ndio hivyo
Mwamba gari. Can you share some money? Mwamba gari. Today betting.
Zinaga sasa na wale ni fuma. Fuma.
Yeye naona fuma lazima nakoze yake.
Ali nana plate.
Too much fun.
Too much money?
Too much money zaidi. Sasa vile
Brother, how much do you have?
all financial policies do not disclose their assets. My assets are so they are roaming around.
Can we try to have something today? We not going to jump, you know. We not going to do it. Sorry?
bad. Marriage.
Time?
Marriage.
Marriage. Bad.
Fashion. You can say fashion. Even tradition.
Fashion.
And nyama mazono tezoika.
Okay, Tikamega is marriage. Why is good, why is bad? For example, by belief, I'm a Catholic, right? Taking PA to me is not a mistake, despite I don't drink beer.
Yeah. Probably not also church.
Others, they look at it as bad, right? Timothy. What else? Kusunga sisi like that, kupita mchile. Ena is just okay. Ena is not. There have been people who have been denied job just because they went there with yes.
Seems like that, but never so seen. It's not the city which describes the person.
Yes, that's why I'm saying
Life. So mubanja na anamsakalo na general institutions. Kumama president you
so makauli lilijoje ari simuru muri bino bwire omakaso lilijoje mutu solanya mulaso joje
izo zinasoma zero.
All right, are we together there, right?
Yes.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Don't be too serious. This time around is not learning. It's sharing what we know so that we apply. Because if we focus much again, do you know education has helped us to be poor? Do you know education has helped us to be poor?
Very well.
Like,
Very much.
And for example, right, she says how, Toria said yes, you also said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Education is contributing to our poverty, right?
Yeah, it's true.
How?
It's because of more money and time on learning,
Then,
doing business.
how are doing business?
No, you spend more money. Of course, in class. Of course, these are the short notes. We have to
once it's like, if you get it, all of this is only opposite of
What
an
was the business? You don't know the gen business. This was not presented as well.
That's where I was getting, sir. Sir. Those says opposite of an opposite. Sasa zose zikukuzi abantu basi analemba ni mtu na zake yeye anakuzi
Alright.
sana
Let's do this way. You know what? If the way we are learning, right? Education do contribute to our poverty. Tiambile, by example, says antopanga business, we now panga school guy. Tell me, or by just looking at the community, tell me antochida bwino bakati pamene anapita ku school ndi anthu amene sanapita ku school. Who does better? Osapita ku school. Everywhere. Okay. Okay, trust you me. Why I'm saying this? But majority. Okay, let's see. Let's see. For example, right? You finally, you have been educated, right? Definitely. Mina pardon safe ed. Because once we're out of the university, this is going to literally zero. There is no recreation in our education. We can't think good but we're waiting somebody to help us do something. Tigabida school, right? We feel like there is a certain modern way of making money. And what do? Timakakala community and we say, you say, no. In a bit of school, these are for the people who are not educated. Those people, they are doing that, they are making money, they are better than those who claim to have gone to school. So when you say education has contributed to our poverty, it's like our education system, there is no recreation. Tikabira uno, ndizo mwezi. Ineso ndatenga pena bage, ndoguza ninuso mungo roiza zomwezo. What's that at the end? Our next class, the other weekend, I'll ask you, I'll give you an assignment. Just figure out few people, where you feel these people are doing better, these people are rich. Ask yourself, how far have they gone with education? Do you know why everyone is going for school? The world recognized school. The Rambaza Zigwed will recognize school in terms of papers. My sons, how many who call it doctor are rich? How many of those who have gone with education, PhD, what? Agamane na Mr. Mulinda Makuya, I would muzati Dr. Mulinda. How many are they are rich in Mgamaona? Tigari Puzasi is not necessarily Grammy, right? What life inake yabwino eh? Tibweraso komweko life yabwino. Education is there. Timberare. Education is there. Punch, eh? Education is there so that we solve life problems. Yes, you solve life problems by knowledge. You can't solve life without knowledge, right? Tell us, kunoko kwathu kuno, what are the problems that are being solved by our school? The school that we are doing. I'll start with her. Take yourself, Panova, right? Just invasion. I don't know where you are staying, right? Just look yourself soon after your house. Or kunguruka pampana. How is it looking? Tiambire bombo. That's your assignment. Then, you know what? In your personal, I just feel like Tigamakamba school, at least it should just have a level so that at least it changes our thinking. Let me share you. I'm not bragging, but I'm telling you the truth. By last year, I'd have finished my PhD. So the time I went to do my master's, I did my master's outside. So there, what we used to do, we had no time that we can work. All what we used to do was kupita class, tipita kunyumba. By then we would be given money, so we would be renting somewhere else. And there was no any other source of money. We are waiting. That is, we used to call it stipend, allowance. So, in class, what I'm telling you here is what I was also learning. What I learned undergraduate is what I was also learning. 2 years, you're doing that. You go for PhD, don't be deceived really high, you become an expert. You learn a lot of stuff in the boards.
You are just mastering what you.
Yes, in the boards. It's just the very same thing. By then, that's when I got exposed. Because I started, nkaka Jewish since a grandmother. Jewish nkaka, what kind of a mix is that? I grew up in Muziwatu, Tipo in the village, right? Where my mom and dad, all what they used to tell me is, work hard. If you do better in school, you do better. Yes, if you do it in school, you get better. But it shouldn't be too much or extra. Ndiye kuna business zodi ife ndingolimbana ndi school 2 years. Ndrama machito mapasidwa nasambila songa like a kid. So after my graduation, I did it with a distinction. But I was so lazy with the school. Because all I was thinking, even if I tried to show you, I bought a diary. I was writing everything that I want to do because school was boring then. And if you can go through it, you can see that I think the school not even. So after I did it with a distinction, they say there is possibility that we can sponsor you. You go for PhD. I said no, I'm going back home. So as I was coming home, do you know how much I had? That was around 2019 Kumabedo. I came home with $100, which was 70 something thousand. What would I do with that? So later on I started to say I have to discover what I should do in my life. I didn't want to be a doctor. And everyone asked me to say, why you left school? I said, I didn't want to be a doctor, a poor doctor, a doctor who has no solution even to family problems. So I didn't want that. So school, I just try to have average. Try just to have to understand things the way we are doing. Mukona ngati tertiary imene tikupanga papa, zimene timaphunzira kujeni ku primary kandi ku secondary, achina social chani zinali ku social zizi. This just ka improvement chake, but they are the same thing. Kuma school it should be there at least to mentor us kuti tiziganizako mwina mwake. Yes, outside the box. Kuma kunoko, trust you me, you have graduated, kumakhala busy. Kuda mwene ntchito yopezeka kuti, you tell your mom kuti singatipezeko chochita. So if you are somebody like me, I was not in town because I had no relative in town. But now I've become a relative to somebody.
Yeah, uncle.
Yes, pano ndine uncle ward. If you are like me, you don't have any connection, how are you going to get a job? Punch. Sorry? Yes. But how many?
There are few. 2% of the 100%.
Let's proceed. So, all what I'm trying is, don't be lazy with your education, work hard, but at this level, don't focus 100% on school. Focus on school, focus on how your life should be. Mnomo alipo, odi ndi mwana mnomo? Alipo odi ndi mwana mnomo? Aye. That's why rich people, they made money and they went to school. The likes of Bushiri, they had a lot of money, then they went to school so that they make school. Look at those who came up with Facebook. They left school, they made money, they went back to school. Ndio ukakhala umene uliko usakabweraso. No, think sharp.
We can't think sharp.
Even here at school, chimene chimalifuta kwambiri fail, selfishness. Trust me, as we are learning here, we can discover some opportunities here. Come at the moment you are that this is so lucrative. Hey, wina sajiziwe, Sylvester asajiziwe. Or what we look at is, tikamaenda and I said, my flag dana pull out. So that agamaenda, people should be praising him. But if we move us together as a community, things will be better.
That's the whole
Africa mentality. Mpaka lero, or tikamawerenga, do we need to understand or we need to memorize? Punch. Tell me with honesty, do you study to understand or to memorize? I've never been here when you are writing exams. Put definition tertiary.
Basically, in the work sector, I've been there before.
Yes.
All of this doesn't apply.
It doesn't.
Saying the truth,
It doesn't.
It doesn't apply. The way they run the organization in their own way. So what's the use of this?
You have to have knowledge, you need to open. They fight others to have your first degree, you can go for masters, others better. Kuma fighting, you need to find a doctor. Pesa uri doctor, ali town, ali makawe longo what series. Let's go for the last but one. Consequential reason. Consequential reason from consequence. Consequential reason. Agudi, you do both, right? Memorize and understand. So here, you write this. There they're saying, this is the theories which results into this. How much time are we remaining with?
1 minute. 1 minute. For 50.
This is the, I was saying, is the theories which results into consequences of a particular action, consequences of a particular action, which has a valid and a moral judgment, which has a valid and a moral judgment. I'll say consequences of a particular action which has a valid and moral judgment about action. I'll say this is the theories which result into the consequences of a particular action which has valid or moral judgment about action. Let's team golemba zina zizaforokozerabe. Then we have it's DE or NT.
Number 4.
Yes, number 4. DE or NT or LOGY. How do you pronounce that?
Deontology.
Yes. Deontology. So there, you write, this means duty. This means duty and focuses on moral, and this means duty and focuses on moral rules and duties. That is, here what we're looking at is behavior should be echoed or from what you are doing day to day. It should detect how you have to be behaving in the lives. Then the last one is principalism. Principalism. So you write our next heading, you write ethical issues which can affect the operation activities of business. Ethical issues which can affect the operational activities of business. All right. Operational activities of the business. Frank, you're good with the market. Good. Where can I find this fish you call butter or something like that?
But
Yes.
okay, you can find it from I'm not assuring you it will be 100%. I'm being able to someone is coming today, I think from Canada. The student.
Yeah, please. Tamlang kuliasa na nyamu.